We represent 75% of the licensed midwives in Arizona. I've just come from the courthouse. This morning, the Arizona Association of Midwives, in conjunction with legal counsel, filed a historic legal action against the Department of Health Services, Director Kara Christ, and State Attorney Mark Bronovich. Midwifery care is well established in research as being safe or safer than hospital births for low-risk women. Arizona was one of the first states to license midwives in 1957. That's something to shout about. Since that point, midwives have provided safe, ethical, evidence-based care to families of Arizona. It has been the midwife's goal to have healthy and professional relationship with the Arizona Department of Health Services. We expect respect for our, excuse me, I have too many papers in my hands. We expect professional relationship with the Arizona Department of Health Services. We expect respect for our professional knowledge and for that knowledge to take center stage in any regulatory process that governs midwifery care. Woo! That's right, give it up. Midwifery's scope of care is best dictated by the experts who provide that care. AZDHS has ignored all of that and all efforts we have made to update and improve outdated rules, choosing instead to try and regulate and govern a profession they know little about. Yes. Arizona midwives do not want to be suing the state, but we're left with no choice.
No choice.
Over the last 3 years, we've met formally and informally, discussions with the department, individuals, and groups. We've tried legislative measures, HB 2247, that was so successful in starting that change, but in the end left us with more damaging rules and did not accomplish what the bill set out to do, increase our scope and decrease regulation. We have filed multiple petitions to request rule updates and policy statements. We have tried utilizing the Licensed Midwifery Advisory Council set up by the department, which, by the way, meets at 12:30 today. It's a public meeting. I would love for all of you to be there. And individual midwives have risked their license and gone publicly to court to get an outside opinion. It's amazing what we've tried to do, and yet it's fallen on deaf ears. Since 1978, when the last revision of our rules occurred, we can count a handful of enforcements up until 2013, when those rules changed. Most of them involved a discussion with the department and a plan of action to correct it. But according to the Department of Health Services website, in 2013, when the next major rule revision occurred, there was one enforcement action. In 2014, just a year later, 14 enforcements happened. As of date, in 2015, there are 19 actions against midwives. In the past 3 years, how has this happened? 4 licensed midwives have gone to court. 3 licensed midwives have been suspended. This is unprecedented. This is a witch hunt. And we say, no more. No more! If ADHS truly is interested in protecting the health and safety of women and babies, they need to work with us. This lawsuit forces their hand to do just that. Work with us. Work with us. I want to leave you with a couple quotes from the Honorable Dorinda Lang from my own hearing a year ago. I refused to abandon care of a client, and DHS wanted to suspend my license for a year. This is what the judge said after that court hearing. Tom Salo, DHS's acting assistant director of licensing, testified that AZDHS has been aware of the potential conflict in its rules for years, but has taken no action to rectify it, nor has it offered midwives a course of action that would satisfy both the duty of transfer care and the duty to not abandon patients. She also said, and an internal inconsistency in the law and rules, combined with AZDHS's failure to provide guidance that ensures no mother and child will be abandoned without professional care, makes it impossible for midwives to follow the rules. If AZDHS cannot think of an answer to the dilemma, it hardly seems appropriate to discipline others for having the same number of answers. None. No answers for us. Judge Lang ends her statement by saying, "It is not appropriate to require anyone to do the impossible," which is what AZDHS is asking us to do, the impossible.
Yeah. Oh.
Midwives' priority in Arizona is to safeguard the health and well-being of women and babies. All of you here. And well-being of all of you here. DHS has focused on compliance, compliance, compliance. That's all they care about. We have no other recourse but legal action. We believe the department's hostile persecution of midwives puts women and babies, you, at risk.
Yes.
We want AZDHS to work with us, not against us, to decrease the regulatory burden and increase midwifery services in Arizona.
Yes.
Our neighboring states of New Mexico has nearly identical midwifery regulation structures, and their health department supports and honors midwives. That's what we want. We want every woman who deserves out-of-hospital birth to have a midwife ready to serve her at any time.
Yes.
We want midwives to not be overburdened by paperwork and fearful of the department's sanction that they have made.
Oh. Yes.
And we want AZDHS to respect the profession that they license.
Yes.
Let's hear from some volunteers.